The designation system of national integrated microcircuits presents an alphanumeric code which has the following parts. The first part is an application variant. Letter K means a universal microchip. If there is no letter, then this a microchip of special application, better to say the fifth chip, a mil-spec circuit. In this case, the housing is marked with a rhombus alongside with the name of the chip. The letter combination EK has appeared recently. It means expert version. The contact space of these chips are in compliance with international standards and is divisible by inch, or rather by mil, the value which is equal to 1/1000th of an inch or 0.254 millimeters. These microchips in deep housing have 2.45 mm lead pitch, while the national microchips have 2.5 mm pitch. For microchips with many leads, like in housing deep 40, where spacing difference between the lead is up to 0.8 mm, so the wiring may be troublesome. For example, breadboard deep ISA is intended for wiring imported chips into deep housing. For this reason, microchip EKR 1830 VE31 designated as IN80C31AN can be easily mounted on this board, but the leads of chip KR1860VE39 do not coincide with the holes. The next letter means type of the housing. For example, letter R means a plastic housing for point-to-point wiring. F means miniature housing for surface mounting. In some cases you will not find the letter. For example, in the 561 series, designation K561TL1 means a plastic deep housing. Then the code consists of 3 or 4-digit number designating the series number. The first figure indicates structural and technical versions of a chip. Figures 1, 5, 6 and 7 are used to mark the semiconductor chips. 2, 4 and 6 are for hybrid ones and so on. The next 2-3 figures are the sequential number of the development. One series number has 4 figures, then the second one indicates the field of application of the chip. 0 indicates home appliances, 1 indicates analog equipment, and so on. Functional purpose of a chip is identified by a 2-letter index, where the first letter indicates the subgroup and the second one indicates the type of the chip. For example, letter T means trigger and letters TB means JK trigger, TR RS trigger and TL Schmidt trigger. When the sequential number of the development is series among chips of one type follows. And finally, alphabetic index indicates the variant of the chip according to some functional feature. One of the parameters in particular. There must be no index of this type. For example, chip KR42EN5A is a voltage regulator for 5 volts and KP42EA5B is a voltage regulator for 6 volts. Here are the examples of designations of national IC chips. KP57-GB5A is a semiconductor chip of wide use from series 572, analog to digital converter. Number of the development is 5. Modification A, plastic deep housing. Letter A is replaced with a dot in this case. Here is another example. EKF1533TM2 is a semiconductor chip of wide use from series 1533, trigger with delay D trigger. Number of the development is 2. Miniature plastic housing of export version. In another way, it is SOIC housing. So, if you know the designation system, you can always define the type and the purpose of a microchip.